Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I want to show you an updated version of the moss-based bone meal farm. You might remember the old version over here, so the new one works the same way. Also has the same speed. What we proved about it was the size of it. As you can see, it's much smaller. And we also put a bit more salt into the redstone, so it's also less effort to build and just is a lot cleaner in general. Okay, so let's quickly check out what has changed compared to the old version. So the most obvious difference, I guess, is that the whole bone meal system and the dispenser system was moved from the top to the bottom, which makes it just a lot smaller. This is something that actually was shown to me by Pixels. So here we got the bone meal dispenser now, below the whole setup. And the way it actually works is that it would always select the top blocks to be converted. But yeah, it's actually necessary to have the glass blocks here. Otherwise, it would basically not select the stone blocks here on top to be converted. So without the additional glass blocks we have below the farm, it wouldn't work. So that's the whole trick about it. Okay. This also makes it possible to not have this huge item elevator on the side anymore. So we just collect the items to get flushed towards the middle, so all the moss blocks, azalea, grass, etc. Let's put it into the composters here. And then all we need is basically this double dropper to put the bone meal into the water stream and resupply the dispenser here. Okay, so that's the bone meal dispenser. Goes around in a loop, and here would be your output. So that's the bone meal output. What I contributed as a huge change to the farm was the change piston setup. So before we had this split up stone generator, top and bottom. Stone would be pushed towards the middle and then to the side. And now we just have a double piston extender that is also fail safe. You can see here in case we can't push in any more stone from the side, the whole stone generator doesn't fail. So this is very fail proof. What else has changed was that also optimized the redstone here on the side a little bit. So here we had a lot more redstone dust sticking out to the sides. In general, this was less compact than the new version. We can also expand the farm. So that was basically the design goal for the first version of the farm, to make it easily expandable. And that's still the case. You can always add more modules, and all you would need to do is add the tileable design to it. As you can see here, all you need is basically just to add a repeater, add another redstone dust line. This is all tileable, and that's about it. So this is really easy to expand. So you can make this with 2 modules, 5, or however long you want it, as long as it's still within the loaded distance. Also, the water stream system has changed a little bit. So instead of putting everything into a water stream at the bottom, then elevate it up, and then go over the whole length of the farm with all the bone meal items, we put in the bone meal directly on the side. But I guess this is best to see at the 5 module version. So we don't collect all the bone meal, go to the very end of the farm, and then send it over all the modules. So for example, the bone meal of the 3rd module here is directly dispensed into the water stream here and just goes to the end. Okay, so it's basically also enough that each module supplies itself the bone meal, so you don't need to send it over all the other modules. Okay, so this is a 2-sided version. We still have to also supply the other side. So this way, and then again here would be the output. Also another smaller change that was suggested by Pixels was, instead of having the extended pistons here, that would prevent the stone being pushed towards the middle and enable the items to be collected, because the items can be flushed below. We now use signs to do the same. So the sign is a block entity and therefore can't be moved. So they're all basically attached to the sign here on the side, and the stone can't be pushed in. I'm also going to mention that there's another alternative. So you could also use honey blocks here in the middle instead of signs. There's also a possibility. So the honey block, just imagine you have a 14 wide honey block that itself can't be pushed, of course, and all the items that would go above obviously would also get collected by the hoppers through the honey block. The rates of the farm haven't changed. So like before, one of those modules would produce 6,500 bone meal power. So with this 5 module version, you would get about 33,000 bone meal power. There's actually a reason why I published this design today. If you paid attention to all the other videos, you might have noticed that I already used this design in combination with other farms, so the dirt farms, a couple months ago. They already used this. Originally, I actually made this for the 4x4 challenge a couple months ago, and yesterday, Doc M built it on the Hermitcraft server. So you might have seen this episode. Not, I'll also link it in the video description, and he also used this bone meal farm. So that's why I'm publishing this today. In case you want to build it, I will provide a world download. Something that Doc asked me was if it's necessary to place all the stone, when you build it basically the first time. Yeah, this is actually indeed necessary to prevent that an empty area would get flushed with water here, and all the redstone dust below would get washed away. So in case you build this farm, you have to place all the stone. Also, if you start up the farm for the first time, it's probably a good idea to put in a couple more stacks of bone meal on the left side dispensers, because the ones on the right get supplied first, so their storage would be filled up first. So yeah, you need to fill up the entire dispenser with bone meal and then the hopper in the back, and do that for every single one, and eventually you'll get items from here. Because it might be a good idea to kind of limit the amount of items here in the dispenser. So you could also do that if you add a comparator to it, and then maybe lock the hopper once you reach a certain threshold. It's something you can do, but I think for most people it's just easier to run this for 20 minutes and then everything is filled up. So it's less build effort, a little bit of waiting, and then you get your items as well. But yeah, in case you want to adjust this, just add a comparator to it and lock the hopper once a certain threshold is reached. Should be doable. Alright guys, thanks a lot for watching, and see you next time. Bye bye.